Merry meet. It's Athena. This is my video response to week 6 of Ember Honey Raven's Witchiversity. This week we were focusing on your body as an oracle. I found this topic very interesting. I pay a lot of attention to these types of things in terms of paying attention to the messages your body is sending you. It seems to send messages to you even when your mind doesn't want those messages or tries to ignore them. This has proved to be pretty accurate for me over the years. I can remember quite a few different instances when I was doing something I really should not be doing. My mind had convinced me that it was okay. My heart was excited. I was trying to convince myself that this was perfectly, wonderfully okay, and yet my throat would dry up. Anytime my throat dries up and my mouth is just like cotton, I know that that is fear, and I know that that is my higher self, my spirit guides, my body telling me this is not a good choice for you. You need to turn around right now. Since, as I've mentioned before, I'm not great with delayed gratification or with making the right choice at times, I've been known to ignore the dry mouth and ignore the higher message that I know is accurate and go ahead and do what I want to do. Maybe in the moment something is satisfying, or I satisfy those urges, or I have the momentary thrill of giving in. It's always proved to be a bad idea. So I am learning over the years and from experiences that I need to pay attention to those messages, because if you listen to what your body is telling you and ignore what your mind or your heart are trying to convince you, you will make choices that are going to serve your higher purpose. Another example of how I know my body can speak to me and tell me things I need to know is to just trust those intuitions. As I've mentioned, I've discovered I am quite empathic. I've discovered that when I meet someone and I get an impression and an overall vibe off of them, no matter what the circumstances are, again, even though my mind might be telling me, oh, come on, what, and trying to talk me out of these feelings, I go with my gut and I go with my intuitions, and it has panned out in the long run that has been accurate. I've met people, I've gotten a feeling about them. When it's negative, those are the ones I have a harder time trusting at times, because I really do want to assume the best about people. I try to be pretty positive. I also have a history of being a little insecure and not necessarily always trusting my decisions. But again, with age and with experience comes wisdom. Now I don't question it. I go with it. I get that uh-oh feeling. I get that weird vibe, and I don't question it. I don't care anymore. I just say, okay, I get that. I understand, and I'm not going to try to talk myself out of feeling this. And it has proven itself to be accurate. I've noticed that when certain aches and pains creep up, they are telling me something. I carry most of my stress and pain in the back of my neck, right at the base of my neck and the top of my shoulders. When I'm relaxed and when things are peaceful and harmonious, there's no pain. I forget all of that. Sometimes I notice that the closer I get to an event that I'm dreading or worried about or feel insecure about, that area tightens up. It's where I carry my stress. I have done a little research on chakras, and the back of your body is the same as the front of your body. So your throat chakra, if you have pain or issues with the throat chakra, which actually goes along with speaking your truth or feeling safe to speak up, it might, if it doesn't manifest in your throat, it might actually on the other side manifest on the other side, which could be that stress level, that area, the back of your neck, right where it meets your back. I would say over the years, most of my pain has been in the throat or the back of the neck areas, my throat chakra. I know I grew up in a world, it was a very loving family, but I did grow up in a world where you don't talk back and you don't express disappointment. My video just randomly cut off, so I don't know where it stopped. I will just pick up on the throat chakra, and I was telling you about my childhood. And although it was a loving, happy childhood, I also knew that my opinion or my discontent or arguing, disagreeing was not welcome and would result in punishment. I got grounded a lot. When I was very young, there was a lot of like spanking, but my mom came to a point in her life where that didn't agree with her anymore, and she felt like she was doing that way too often, so she stopped, which is good. I don't really have a whole lot of memory of that. And so I was an extremely healthy child, except for strep throat. I got strep throat several times a year. Always. I could diagnose myself. I knew when I had it. And in my learning in the past few years with the chakra idea, some would say that my throat chakra was manifesting that pain, that strep throat. That nowadays, as I said, I don't get the strep as much. I get more the neck aches. It means I'm not speaking my truth in some way, or I don't feel safe or able to speak up. So it's kind of interesting if you think about that. A few years ago, I had, out of nowhere, for no particular reason, there was no injury, but it was the month I turned 40. Later that month, within 2 or 3 weeks, I started having some lower back pains. I ignored it. I've always been a pretty healthy person, reasonably fit, and I just walked and didn't worry about it. One day I decided to take a really long walk, like a 2-hour walk through the neighborhood with my sister when I was visiting in Tennessee, and that took a little bit of a pain and turned it into a severe issue. And long story short, after much medication, much physical therapy, much this, that, and the other, I had to have surgery. About 3 months I went in the most excruciating pain I've ever had, just 24 hours a day. So I had to have that corrected. Now, how this translates is all of this happened when my second marriage, which was the marriage that really should never have happened. It was over before it started. It fell apart in a drastic way. My lower back is where the pain was, and some people again would talk about the chakras and also carrying the weight of the world or disappointment on you. I need to freshen up on the chakras, but I believe that the lower back is that the solar plexus? I believe that's the solar plexus. I know some of that has to do with feeling secure in your life, feeling safe. And obviously, when my marriage fell apart, I did everything in my power to save it, to do everything. I was desperate for it to survive, and it did not. And it destroyed me for a while. So it doesn't surprise me at all that my body in that area, I almost wanted to say it imploded, but it was destroyed. The pain was excruciating. That is obviously a way of a body to say, this is not okay, you have to fix this, this is not healthy. Change it, reach for something better. Nowadays, I am not plagued by too many pains anymore. I've been happy and content overall for the last few years, and I don't even get headaches all that often. All I'm saying is I have been trying to live my truth, though I am closeted. Oh, except for that little part of my life, the spiritual part, as far as the witchy side of it. Other than that, I live out loud and I speak my truth and I don't say what everyone wants to hear just to keep the peace. I'm a recovering pleaser is what I call myself. And therefore, the pain isn't as bad anymore. So yes, I'm thankful for that. I have 2 more examples of the body as an oracle in my experiences. I put a lot of stock into dreams. I have found, I'm a crystal girl. I love crystals very much. I have this, I keep this beside my bed, and I have plenty more smaller ones, but these are some nice palm stone type sizes. I have found that when I bring them, I'll bring 1 or 2 with me to bed with me at night and sleep with them right near my head, or sometimes I go to sleep holding on to them. They really assist in me remembering my dreams. They're nice large stones, and they really do assist in enhancing my dreams, helping me recall them. I have found certain ones seem to bring on a certain flavor of dreams. You can believe what you want about crystals, but I've learned through experience, before even knowing about some of the properties, I have experienced them. The first time I slept with a clear crystal quartz, I had the worst dreams, horrible nightmares. When I woke up, I think it was the next day or within a couple days, I learned that a clear crystal quartz is a magnifying glass. It will magnify what's already there. So I was already having a nightmare. It didn't cause that nightmare. It took that nightmare and it exploded it into a huge, terrifying dream. I find that pretty fascinating. I pay close attention to my dreams. Most of the time, I think they're just me working out little stressors during the day, but every now and then I will have the dreams that I will actually change what I do because of them. An example is, I won't go into the long story, but there was this woman I worked with recently she was the most horrible creature I've met maybe in my life. She really was. I haven't met an evil incarnate like that ever. We had some falling outs. Clearly, I stayed away from her most of the year. The year was ending, and for some reason, I had a dream that I needed to make peace with her. She had already accepted a new job. I knew she was out of my life. I could have just let her go and just leave that shit. But I dreamed that I needed to make a peace with her and not leave on that nasty, negative level, or leave that energy like it was. I don't question why. Who knows? Maybe she's going to go psycho one day and decide to kill people, and I mark myself off the list. But my dream told me to go apologize with her, and I actually, in the dream, hugged her, which is disgusting. But within the week, I made that happen. I went to her. I talked to her. I did not lie. I was very straightforward and honest, leaving out some of the hurtful details. She didn't know exactly how horrible I think she is. But I did tell her why my opinion was as it was. And we made peace. And I hugged her. Yes, there's not enough, showers. I needed to take a bleach bath after that, I think. But I made peace. I followed the intuition of that dream, because I do think messages come to you in your dreams. You can ignore them or not, but you know when some of the dreams are more than a dream. I know when I've been lucky enough on an extremely rare occasion to dream about this wonderful soul that recently left this earth in January, someone I held in such high esteem and loved so much. I know when I've had dreams about him that he's visiting me. He is. And I treasure that more than you can possibly imagine. So I'm going to change the subject because I don't do emotions in front of people. I think the last thing I wanted to share as far as the body as an oracle, or just paying attention to your body and noticing what it's trying to tell you, is the idea of earthing. There's a book out there called that, and if you haven't tried it before, which probably most of you have since you guys are more into the earth, but how it works is you put your bare feet right in the grass, right in the dirt, and you breathe and you feel Mother Earth. You ground into her soil and her cool grass, and you can feel her recharging you. It's equivalent to plugging in your phone and recharging. For me, it is. I can feel the tension of the day draining and grounding, and she takes it into her soil and into her body with love, and up through your feet into your body. You feel refreshing, a refreshment. You feel peace. It is the most delicious sensation. And when it is a busy time in my life, especially when I work all day, I have to spend 15 minutes. I sit outside. I try to unplug, and I put my feet in the grass, and I try to do sort of a sitting meditation. I usually have my 6-year-old out there with me, so it's really, meditation and 6-year-olds don't go together, but if I unplug and have no phone and no book, I can just, it refreshes and recharges me. It's delicious. Okay, that's it for this video. I have a feeling it's pretty choppy and a little discombobulated, but there it is. I will try to record 1 or 2 more today so that I can touch base with you before I have to go back underwater to my work world. It is all encompassing. It consumes me. So the weekend is the only time I can come out and actually say hello to my peeps out there. I love you guys. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Every day I check, and there's a couple more, and it is beyond exhilarating, and it just fills me with so much joy. So I really thank you for that. And thank you again to Ember for telling you guys about me. That'll be a highlight in my life forever. It is the most, I think that's the most exciting thing that's happened in a long time. And so I welcome all of you. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the witches out there who participated in the Thank You Ember tag. If you haven't yet, please do, because I want to see what you have to say. And I'm sorry it seemed to take a little negative tone there with asking about have you cried with Ember and all that, but I guess for me, if you bring me to tears, then you're pretty legit in my book. I hate to cry, so when I do, I know, okay, shit just got all kinds of real right now. So, Ember's done that to me quite a few times. Okay, that is it. I will say, blessed be for now, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you, guys.